3, 1, here we are. We are live. Hello everybody, this is Danny.
And Wanda.
From the Deep South Homestead. We are eating fresh stuff today, most of it from the garden. A few things that we don't have from the garden. It was bought at a store, I guess, but 90% of it is from the garden, isn't it?
Yeah, mine is, and I know you probably can't see it. Where is it picking it up at all?
Oh, let me do something here. Hang on.
Ah! Still, nope.
Still? Nope.
No. It's going to fall off the plate.
Ah. Anyway.
There's too much light coming from someplace.
Too much light coming from somewhere.
Okay. Hello, guys. No, I have English pea salad.
Homemade.
That I picked my English peas. I added some of our onions. Let's see, what else did I add? Chicken. Some of our chicken. It was already cooked, so I crumbled it up instead of bacon. And I added mayonnaise and cheese and mixed it together. And I've added a few Ritz crackers crumbled in on top. So I have chicken English pea salad, I guess. I did not put any eggs in it. And then I have a fresh tomato. The
fresh tomatoes just tops it off. I mean, I don't care what you say. Fresh tomatoes is where it's at, you know. And me, and see, it's all about how you present your plate, I suppose.
Mine still goes slide off.
I have fresh tomatoes, fresh homegrown English peas.
That I cooked a while ago.
Cooked a while ago, as you can, and had a few left over, so you eating them. Fresh sweet potato dessert, homemade from our sweet potatoes.
Fresh out the oven.
Yep. Our Irish potatoes cut up into fries, and a hamburger patty that we cooked on the grill. So
last night at the cabin.
At the cabin last night.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are people from everywhere. North Carolina, Michigan. I mean,
Washington State. Hello from trucking world.
Tim from the trucking world, yeah. The only thing I didn't put on my plate was a piece of cheese.
You did forget.
Yep. Kentucky.
Yeah. Ontario, Canada.
Wow.
Well, guys, right now we have some fresh. We've had fresh off and on all winter. I have the Greenstalk, and that brings me to, you can find my picture.
Oh, okay. I get to operate this.
The Greenstalk planter is a vertical planter. So I got it back in the winter and started things. So we've had fresh lettuce, all kinds of freshness in this. And over at Greenstalk, they've allowed us to have a giveaway. So if you would like one of these, a 4-tiered Greenstalk vertical planter with the roller base in your choice of colors, guys, in our description is a link. Go to it and sign up, because they are letting us give this away for our 70,000 subscriber giveaway. They have agreed to do that, and somebody's going to win on we'll pick a winner on the 27th, I believe, is what we've got set up. So these you can grow year round. Some of you that are having some really bad weather that can't really put things out, if you have a carport or a porch or patio or something, you can use this. Right now, I had mine in a mini greenhouse during the winter, and it worked out really great. It was just a simple $100 mini greenhouse. You can go over to Crazy Days. There's a couple of videos on Deep South, but Crazy Days has a playlist. It worked well in that mini greenhouse. It kept everything from dying. Then I took the plastic off the greenhouse, and now we have a 40% shade cover over it. And I'm still growing carrots, tomatoes, and I just put strawberries in it. I have not grown celery, so Danny and I don't like celery anyway.
It's too hot here to grow celery.
We're not celery people. I've tried and tried, and I cannot really eat celery. I don't know why.
Grizz says, hey, if you ain't got time for this, Danny, get over here and help me split some firewood. It may still be cold at Grizz's. I don't know.
I don't know if he's in the part that's cold or not.
I don't know. I don't know anything about the pictures you have over here. Now, what are we talking about?
Let's see. Oh, to go along with the giveaway, we're going to do a video probably today or something and put it up on our 70,000 subs because we only like less than 200 hitting
Okay.
70,000.
Okay.
So we do have the seeds. These are some flower seeds. I'm going to do this. Everything will be a single person giveaway. One person will win each item instead of one person winning everything. So the seeds will go to one person, and this is a huge variety of seeds that I thought would be nice for somebody to plant in the garden. I don't have pictures of the other stuff, but we'll mention it in the video. We've got a couple of other things to give away, and in the video we'll tell y'all what to do. But for the Greenstalk alone, you have to go through the link that is in our descriptions and go to it and sign up. What else? Green beans, the first one.
Okay.
Y'all, we're going to have green beans.
They are looking really good.
Yeah. They're blooming like crazy. They're putting on little beans. The other one is the whole field. Isn't that gorgeous? Don't you just like to see a bunch of green plants looking awesome with a few weeds?
It's got a little bit of grass in it that we're going to have to hand pull when we go through it, but we're, you know, Florida homesteader, I would give anything if I could offer you some cooler weather because I would take my share and then let you have what was left. I'm telling you, it's in the 90s here. It is hot.
Yeah. We went from what 60s, most 60s to high 70s.
60s, yeah.
And then it jumped to 100.
Yeah, it was just all of a sudden, it was just almost like 100 degrees.
Okay, Michigan Mike wants to know about the radish that I pulled from it. They want to know what kind it is. Hoss Tools sells those seeds, and we have a link in our description too for Hoss Tools. We are an affiliate with them. It is called, was it a watermelon radish?
I think so.
I think it's called a watermelon radish, if I'm not mistaken. And the color inside just made it look like a watermelon. It tasted great. It was not piffy. As big as it was, it's still, the whole thing was awesome. And so I will be planting some more of those. I planted several in there, but I pulled them up before they got started good because we had, what kind of bugs was that hitting it? No, the worms.
Worms.
Some worms started hitting the radishes.
I call them
really bad.
worms. I don't know what they are. They're little tiny small worms.
Yeah. And so I pulled all the radishes out because they were targeting the radishes. And that one got left somehow or other, and it just flourished. So
Denise said that their green beans are doing good, but the rattlesnake's beans is not doing too good.
Our rattlesnake beans are up about, what, 8?
Yeah, we only planted a few because we wait until we take the English peas out to plant our second batch of them.
I don't have anything on the English peas, but I just canned 8 jars this morning, 8 pints of English peas. That's the last of our English peas. How many did you say we were up to, probably?
We're in the 40s. I just don't know.
We're
right at 40.
Probably close to 40.
Which is about 26 or 27 jars less than what we usually do to make it through the year. But we're happy to have what we got.
We usually start our English peas in the end of January, 1st of February.
Yeah, about between January 15th and the end of January, sometime in there.
Florida homesteaders said their rattlesnake didn't sprout. Ours sprouted within, what, 2 to 3 days?
Oh, yeah, ours is up in a couple of days. Yeah.
The okra?
Oh, we have beautiful okra. I had to replant it, but...
What, 3 days?
3 days. It was upstanding because the conditions was perfect.
Any secrets to share about cantaloupe? Now, I'm not a cantaloupe person, so I wouldn't know.
Cantaloupes need lots of lime. They need a good pH of about 6.8 to 7. They need good, rich soil, and they don't need to be standing in anything that stays wet.
Somebody else was asking, I have some small white spots that look like a very tiny white dot on a cucumber plant leaves. What can that be?
Oh, Sherry, I'm not sure what the white spots are. We're experiencing so much new stuff here this year that I'm not sure what a lot of things are. I'll be honest with you. I really believe that the sun is irradiating a lot of our plants this year. I can't prove it, but it looks like a lot of the stuff looks like it's burnt. It looks like it's just it's just burning them. But I have no proof of that. I'm just simply going from experience.
Now, Deborah Oster says her rattlesnake vines are about 8 inches tall, but the bottom leaves are turning yellow.
Oh, that could be just simply from humidity and heat, because it will do that.
Mm-hmm. The humidity here is really crazy.
The humidity's bad.
Because that system that was moving through, where did it go? Texas on up?
Well, it came in on the west coast and went across Colorado,
Okay,
New Mexico, and all up through Kansas, Missouri, and Oklahoma, and on up through that way.
but
the tail end of it is pulling from the Gulf, and it is just dumping humidity on top of us and heat like crazy.
But the saving grace is the wind.
The wind. It has been very windy.
Awesome. We got my rocker, and I think I have a picture of the rocker somewhere. I done forgot.
I didn't see it.
Chilling on.
Oh.
Right there.
Okay.
We got the rocker, and that's just a little side view of it. It's a double rocker. Danny's got. Have you finished the porch?
Mm-hmm.
He finished the porch this morning, so I'm going to get to move it back to where I want it. Right now, it was sitting up on another part of the porch that he had finished. And we can sit on this, and the last, 3 days, the wind has been fabulous. I mean, we don't, midsummer, it's going to be hot. We would wish there was wind.
Homestead Hippie, you asked, I think I have the right one, don't I?
Mm-hmm. If you're talking about,
they asked for rain. I mean, you asked me to pray for you to have rain, and I did pray for you to have rain.
She said, "Stop now."
I just didn't pray how much.
She said, "Stop. Just put a limit on it."
Oh, that's funny.
Well, we heard from our friend in Arizona.
Yes.
She's working at the school. She said last day of school they had snow. Yesterday or today?
Yesterday or today. They have snow in Arizona still.
I think it was yesterday. They had snow. She still has not put her plants out. Her friend's garden.
Hippie says it's 57 degrees here a couple of nights.
Wow. So she is in Arizona, and she said it's crazy because they usually have their plants out by now. And Danny and I are way behind.
We're weeks behind.
Yeah, because usually our green beans, we would be through by now. We would be picked all the green beans, canned them, and done. Ours are just going to be ready this weekend to start picking. And we've planted twice. We planted twice. The contenders, they didn't work. We planted the Blue Lake, and they're beautiful.
They're beautiful.
And
we're about 2 weeks behind.
And the English peas should have been done, 1st of May?
Yes.
So they're behind.
They're way behind.
But they're still.
Guys, the English peas.
They're crazy.
The English peas started dying. Wanda and I said, well, we're going to go through and clip them off because we don't pull the roots up because that's where the nitrogen's at. And we went back to pick our last picking and looked, and they've started sprouting again and beautiful and green and got blooms and peas on them again. And we're like, what?
So
in 90-degree temperature?
If they make some more, they make them.
It's just crazy.
Colorado has a lot of snow. And Oklahoma has flooding, yeah.
Yeah.
And where was it with the barge?
Missouri.
That was Oklahoma.
That was Missouri, wasn't it?
No, the barge was in Oklahoma.
Okay, the barge was in Oklahoma and is headed towards some bridges or something. They're worried that it's going to take them out.
And then
there's a big dam behind it.
Missouri's had the tornadoes and flooding. Someone sent pictures of somewhere in Georgia a couple of days ago. There was some flooding. Indiana, flooding. North Mississippi, there were fields. I think it was the bridge. Where did you say that was at, Vicksburg? Where did you say that bridge was at?
I think it was in Vicksburg.
Somebody sent me, the water is almost to come over the main bridge between Louisiana and Mississippi on that bridge. That's the Mississippi River.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's getting there.
Time to sow. My daddy always planted Kentucky Wonders my whole life. And now my daddy planted bush beans. He never planted the pole beans. I don't know. The bush beans withstood the heat fine.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know about pole beans. I feel like they probably would if you could keep the humidity from destroying the vines from being too thick. You know, that would be the only issue that I would think would be a problem.
Danny said he gave up waiting on the weather in Texas and just planted, and then they got golf ball size hail and tornadoes.
Mm.
Yeah. Then I saw Sherry said the sun was searing her skin yesterday. The air was very heavy, and they're getting no rain in South Carolina. Wow.
Wow. Yes, Amanda, we are on early. Can help with the links in about 10 minutes. So that's fine. We're fine. We just I came in from the cabin. I run out of gas in my generator. My battery went dead on my drill motor, and all at the same time. So I just came to the house and I told Wanda, I said, look, while I'm here, let's just go live now, because people on the East Coast is right in the middle of their lunch, and if we wait, it'll be after lunch for them.
Just kind of getting ours out of the way.
Yeah.
Off grid, it has its pros and cons.
Mm-hmm.
Carpenter wise, has a lot of problems.
Yeah, when you're well, Denise, we grow both. We grow bush beans, and we do the rattlesnake beans or pole beans, but the bush beans are the contenders or blue lakes. We do both. We go to the garden, we're either standing up or we're laying down crawling. Yeah. It's one or the other. We don't bend over. Homestead Hippie said we haven't had breakfast yet. Wow.
Yeah.
We had breakfast this morning at 5 o'clock.
And we went to pick blueberries at his dad's. We'll get back to the off-grid, I guess, in a minute.
Yeah.
We went to pick blueberries, and his dad's fields, there's 100 blueberry trees. They're not bushes, they're trees.
These are trees.
They're probably, 12 to 15 feet tall?
About 12, 15 feet tall, yep.
Huge trees. Usually, you can pick anywhere from 400 to 600 gallons of blueberries a year on these trees. Danny and I've never had any problems picking a gallon of blueberries in 10 minutes? 15 at
10 to
most?
15 minutes, we can pick a gallon of blueberries.
A piece.
Each, yeah.
Each. That's not just 1 gallon. I'm talking both of us working a gallon apiece. We went today. I had told him when we were out there a few weeks ago, 3 or 4 weeks ago, I said, the premiers are not going to have any berries. I said, there's just no berries on the trees. So we went and looked, and sure enough, you could walk all day long and maybe get a gallon off, about 50 trees? It's probably at least around 50.
Around 50. We might have picked a gallon.
There's a few berries there, and a few are getting ripe, but it is not like before. Before, they were just hanging everywhere. Now,
what happened?
Freeze.
That last freeze we got here almost wiped the whole crop out.
Mm-hmm.
Ours is doing good. Now we've already picked 6 gallons, 5 or 6 gallons off ours.
Yeah, we thought it got ours, but it didn't.
It didn't hurt ours because the way our land is laid.
Today would have made 5.5 gallons on ours. And we have 50 trees, and they're only about 4 or 5 years
4 years old. Yeah.
And the trees at his dad's are close to 30 years old.
They're close to 30 years old, yeah.
But now the tips at his dad's, there's about 50 of those trees are just loaded with little bitty berries, and in 2 to 3 weeks they will be ready, and there'll be quite a few berries there. But usually
they bloomed later.
They're always a later bloomer, but the Premier have always been our best sellers.
Yeah. People
love the Premiers, and this year there's just not going to be any.
Danny says the wild plums there were loaded, and the hail got all of them but a few. I'm telling y'all guys, I don't know how to say it any more than the fact that God's hand has been lifted off of this country, I believe, because of the wickedness in this country. And we are going to have to reap whatever he deems for this country. Just because we're God's children doesn't mean we won't have to go through the fire. I mean, we'll go through the fire and he will sustain us through the fire. But guys, we're going to be just like the children of Israel were when they sent to Babylon. I mean, they suffered right along with everybody else. You know, I mean, when the children of Israel asked God in Babylon, said, what do you want us to do? He said, build houses and plant gardens because you're going to be here for 70 years. You know what I mean? So I mean, we're going to have to endure a lot of this just like they did. And it's going to be a learning experience. I believe God will grant wisdom to his people about what to do and how to do it. And I believe he'll provide for us.
Yeah. And you've got to learn a new way. If you're used to gardening like we are, we're used to garden certain ways. We are trying every way. Some of our old ways are working. Sweet potatoes and potatoes work just fine. Well, I say that. We've got the sweet potatoes in the ground. Some of our things are doing great. Some things are not. So we're changing up how we do them. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's Jennifer was asking about growing blueberry, planting the trees. If you plant the sprouts, will it still grow blueberries? The answer is yes. The problem is finding a sprout that has enough roots on it that'll actually take off and grow, because blueberries usually will just run over and come up, and they have very few roots on them. But you'd have to pot it and really get it rooted good before you actually put it in the ground. Data Matrix says, I can produce shade cloth any size you want.
Wow. We just bought some last year for the greenhouse, which reminds me, we've got to get that up.
Yeah, we're gonna have to put that on the greenhouse.
It was 100 degrees.
It was pretty hot in there a while ago. Yeah. It was over 100.
Yeah. My moringa tree in the greenhouse is huge. It's probably, what, 6 foot, 7 foot tall right now, and all kinds of leaves, and I've got to get it out of there. I keep saying that, but I've got to dig it up and transport it, and it's heavy, and I hadn't done it. And my aloe vera has a bunch of babies. If I can get them out and get them where I can sell them, I'm going to put some aloe vera up, because I've had many of y'all want aloe veras, and I think I probably had around 10. So I've got to see that they're going to be okay to sell and see how they're going to work. I've not been able to do that before. This is the first time I've had babies everywhere.
If any of y'all need shade cloth for your gardens or for anything that you're doing, check out Data Matrix there and get with him, because he says he's got thousands of feet if you need it.
Wow. That's really good.
What's wrong with my tomatoes? They turn black on the bottom, Tammy says. That's called blossom end rot. You can fight it a couple of ways. I suggest calcium nitrate. I find that to be the best that I've been able to come up with. It does good. It's usually a sign that your tomatoes have not had enough calcium put to it.
Somebody asked what we were eating. Fresh tomato from my Greenstalk planter. Mine is English pea chicken salad. It's English peas, chicken, onions, cheese, and mayonnaise all mixed together. And Danny has a hamburger.
I had a hamburger patty cooked on the grill, fresh Irish potatoes from our garden that's been cooked like French fries, homegrown tomato, homegrown English peas, and a homegrown sweet potato dessert.
Yeah.
Guys, let me tell you something. A homegrown tomato is about as good as it gets. This stuff from the store.
We haven't bought a tomato.
We ain't bought a tomato from the store in what, years? That's like eating cardboard. You know, I mean, these things here are so juicy and taste so good. I mean, the old saying goes, it'll make you slap your mama. Well, you wouldn't slap mine; she'd slap you back. But I mean, it is pretty good.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, we've had tomatoes throughout the winter in the greenhouse.
Yeah.
Most winters. We may have to do without a month or two of fresh tomatoes, but if I time it right this year, we might not have to do without. So we're learning to have something fresh all year long. We've had peppers all winter. We've had lettuce all winter. What else do we have? Kale.
Kale.
We had chard.
Oh gosh, we
cabbage.
Had cabbage. We've had broccoli. I mean, you name
broccoli.
it.
All this stuff will grow here during the winter. So we have fresh all winter long, and we have something. Plus now the berries are coming in. We huckleberries, blueberries, blackberries, strawberries. My raspberries are loaded. I've just got to get out and do some work on them. The
fresh vegetables from the garden.
The only berries we really lost were the mulberries. The trees are beautiful. Some of them are beautiful now, but we lost, the freeze hit them just when they were fixing to start turning. So we lost all the mulberries this year.
I'm going to tell you something, Denise. Them fresh homegrown tomatoes and fresh French fried potatoes from the garden. Man. That's so good.
Yeah. You're a brat. You're just rubbing it in because they don't have this. Some of them do.
Some do.
Now see, mine is, I'm waiting on cucumbers. I love cucumbers, tomatoes, and peppers just chopped up and put a little bit of salad dressing on. That is my salad.
Man.
So the peppers over there are starting to make. We've got peppers in containers at the cabin. And I'm going to do a walk around type thing. I've got one for Crazy Days, and then I'm going to do one for Deep South. Crazy Days is going to be more my cabin garden and what's going on at the cabin. Then for Deep South, hopefully within the next couple of days, I'll do one showing all the garden and things that is going on around the house. We'll try and do it. I think my cucumbers are starting to bloom, but I'm waiting. I'm patiently.
Are you?
Uh-huh.
I'm just patiently sitting here.
Yes, we do grow pink-eye purple whole peas.
Man.
And I have some over at the cabin garden. They're not looking too well. Danny's going to have to trim a few more limbs, I think. Not too many, but I don't think it's getting enough sun. I think the shade is working on my garden a little bit.
All I can do right now is just think about how good them tomatoes and potatoes were.
Oh, well, you just... That's just wrong.
Oh, man. I got to quit. Laughing is not good for me. I got to quit.
Now we have a garden container over at the cabin that has the yellow pear tomatoes in it. And that thing is just growing like crazy. It's got little yellow tomatoes. They're not yellow yet, but little tomatoes on them, blooms. And then my tomatoes out in my cabin garden has tomatoes on them. They're doing okay. So maybe we'll have tomatoes. I've got a few cucumber plants in a couple places. Oh, show the Cherokee Tan. That's something I forgot to mention.
No, where am I at? Okay, come here. Here we go.
Yeah. Okay, guys, we have a playlist on Deep South and on Crazy Days called Cherokee Tan versus Seminole Pumpkin Collaboration. There's going to be a bunch of channels growing the Cherokee Tan or the Seminole. I sent out like 40 packs of seeds. And this is ours. We have planted Cherokee Tan in how many places? Several places. Danny planted these near a trash pile at the cabin. And every seed he planted is up. And they're what, 6 or 8 inches tall now?
Yeah, about 6 or 8 inches tall.
And so y'all check out all the people in the playlist because everybody's growing them different. These we wanted to see how they would do in that old trash pile. We've got people growing them in containers, in the ground, on trellises, in pots, starting them inside, starting them in the ground, in different areas of the United States. And what is that going up our window? Some kind of...
it's one of those oak worms that fell out of the tree.
It's
a fuzzy worm. He'll be okay. He's on the outside. He's on the outside of the house. You have nothing to worry about.
No, but it looked weird. But, you know, I want y'all to check out our playlist on both channels, one or the other channel, whichever, because there's a lot of people starting to send in their videos on these Cherokee Tan or the Seminole. And they're all over the country, and we're going to see how they grow. And where are they growing?
Denise wants to know, is your yellow pear tomatoes growing in a 10 cluster? Denise, she don't pay that much attention to tomatoes. She just pull a thing off and eat it.
They're in clusters, but I don't know if there's 10 of them.
I know. She just looks for a yellow one and snatches it off. She don't pay no attention to the plant.
It's green, and it has tomatoes, and it has blooms.
That's about all.
And they turn yellow.
Yeah.
10, I don't know, but maybe.
I know how it goes.
Maybe. That's all I can tell you, maybe. Gemini says her Cherokee Tan are growing beautiful too. Good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Florida says 8 to 10 in a cluster. I know there's several. I just never have sat and counted them. Hello from Finland. Can't wait to see your rocket stove. We did the first video on it. I'll probably cook some more on it. Right now we're running every night. Last night, what were we doing last night? I planted more sweet potatoes.
Yeah. Oh, let me tell you, we're not going to have any. Only sweet potato slips we're going to have is probably a few purple ones.
Yeah, one bag.
We ran out, and we're still about 100 short, so we had to plant some more sweet potatoes to get some more slips.
If these make and keep making in a month or so, I might have some extras. But y'all, it is.
I'm telling you guys,
it's fixing to get real.
We usually have so many sweet potato draws, it ain't even funny. And then this year,
well, the rats got the first.
The rats got the first sweet potatoes. They eat all my potatoes. Yeah. So we're having to replant. And
what few we've got was not enough to finish the garden. We replanted. Yesterday I put a whole bunch in the ground to see. We called our local, what is it, feed store. They're not getting any. So guys, it's going to get real. If you expect to get things from a local feed store or something like that, you can't always, even like hay this winter, we could not depend on hay because of that. Now we were running out.
We're out now.
Yeah, we couldn't depend on.
We don't have any hay right now. We're our animals are just out to pasture.
Yeah, because
that's all we could do.
Yeah. And now we find out they can't get any sweet potato slips, so we're having to grow even more. We're just going to mass produce. If
but we thought if we ran out, we said, well, we just run to town to the store and get some because they always have them. We got in there and the lady told us, she said, well, the truck called and said because not enough people were ordering down in that area that they're not going to ship us any this year. So I was like, really?
Yeah.
Right when I needed some because I didn't have enough. You know?
We like about. What, maybe 100?
We like about 100 more to 150
and I planted enough sweet potatoes. If somebody wants some and they come up and make extras, I will have a few, but it'll be about a month. I've got enough to cover the purples, and I had one lady order the sweet potatoes already, so I've got enough to cover her order, and that's it, guys. We just aren't going to have them like we thought.
Not right now. We'll probably have them in the future.
Yeah, in a month. And some of you can't plant now anyway, so we'll be timing it just right. But the ones we've got in the greenhouse are pretty.
Yeah.
The ones we've got,
in
hugel bed. You got some off the hugel bed.
Mm-hmm.
And they're looking great in the field. We've got 200 in one spot, and how many in the other? About 200 in another.
We got 200 in one field and 200 in another. We need about another 150.
And he planted about 20 of the white ones. The white ones are doing good too. So we might have a few white ones to sell, but it'll be about a month.
It'll be a little while. Yeah. Because it's just now warming up enough for them to come up.
Yeah, some of those sweet potatoes have been in pots, 2 months? And still did not make a slip at all. We always plant them in January. By now would have slips going and coming. They're just gradually starting to put a few on. They just laid there. We even dug some up last month to see because we thought something was wrong.
Something was wrong with them. Dug them up, they still look perfect.
They were perfect. They were just perfect potatoes laying. The ones in the greenhouse, the rats did get 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah, they did. The rats got those. But
Some of them made it.
Vince wants to know what tomatoes is growing best for us this year. Well, the Sweet Millions is doing really good. Now, they're a hybrid. The cherry tomatoes.
The yellow pear.
The yellow pear is doing really good.
What is this down here?
We have Creoles that's just going crazy. We did not plant the old favorite Amish paste that we normally plant this year.
The early girls in my garden are doing good.
Her early girls, yeah, they're doing good. I have some F1 beefsteak hybrids. They're doing pretty good. So this year, a lot of our tomatoes right now have cat face because it stayed cold so long while the tomatoes was on the plants. The tomatoes are about this big around, and they got a cat face in the side of them, which doesn't hurt them. It just makes them look ugly. You know, they're still usable.
Yeah, they're saying they can't find sweet potato slips anywhere. No, because most of them are supposed to be coming. Well, ours, because we asked.
We asked where these would come from, and they said they would come from Vardaman, Mississippi, which is the sweet potato capital of the world.
And it ain't happening.
It ain't happening.
So, and I'm wondering if they got some flooding. I've not checked into that. I don't know if that's in that area.
You know, I don't know. I really don't know. Music Well said, sun scorched off all the first few leaves on my bush beans this year. It hasn't been that hot here, but it's been blindingly sunny quite a few times.
The Amish paste is horrible, but the small
and medium ones are doing good. Yeah, Denise, we didn't plant any. Amish paste has always been our favorite here, but we decided this year to try all new varieties.
Yeah, we're saving our Amish paste for.
Those are proven. Yeah, those are proven to work here. So we're
using up some seed we already have.
Yeah.
Well, before I forget about it, I want to mention Ben and Melissa.
Yes.
Full House Homesteaders. If you guys know who that is, if you don't, check out Full House Homesteaders with Ben and Melissa, with Homestead Mama. Mm-hmm. Ben and Melissa. Melissa had the baby this week. The baby does have health issues. They are in Memphis in the hospital, and Melissa and Ben are exhausted.
Yeah.
You guys show them some love. I think I put in the description the GoFundMe to help them so they can stay with the baby and have some money to go. But the GoFundMe is in our description. And go to their channel, watch some videos and things like that. That helps them out.
Yeah.
But we did want to mention Ben and Melissa. Okay. Freedom Maker is putting up their YouTube channel. Can you put up the link to the GoFundMe too so people can click on it? And if they want to help them be able, their kids are supposed to be there today. And they're supposed to be able to spend some time, family time today. Do we have kids? I have 5.
She has 5 of her own. I have 2 of my own. Together we have, I have 1. I have a lot. I have a step kids, and we have 20.
I think, well, let me put it this way.
20-something grandkids.
After my oldest daughter, she is pregnant right now with twins. When she has the twins, then my youngest daughter is pregnant with 1. We're hoping for a boy. The twins are girls. We are all, between the 2 of us, up to 24 or 25, I lost count, grandchildren. So.
Ben and Melissa are from Vardaman, Mississippi, sweet potato capital. Okay.
I knew they were from, I didn't know the name of, I didn't know they were actually in Vardaman, but I knew they were in that area in there.
Jennifer's asking, said, I wonder if we could send money to their P.O. box so they could get all the money.
Yes. If they have a P.O. box listed in their description, I would advise anybody to use the P.O. box if you can. That way you know the channel you're sending it to gets all the money. If you go through the GoFundMe, I think there is a percentage that goes for that holding place.
Yeah.
If you use PayPal, they will get it that way too. If she has a PayPal, I don't know if she does. But if you use PayPal, she can just send it as a friend. She will get all of it. But if they have a PO, by all means, send
Yeah.
it to the PO. It helps.
It
believe
helps.
me.
So that they get all the money. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Holy cow, that's a lot of grandkids. Well,
well, we forgot Sunshine.
well, that's right. We forgot to
might as well
add Amanda and her daughter in there. Yeah, because I mean they're like children. Like Amanda's like a daughter to us, and Sunshine's like another grandkid. So she spends more time here than the grandkids do a lot of times. So she might as well be one of them. So.
All right, Country Homestead Preacher Jen, could you post her PO box? Just write it out because it's not a link. And if you don't mind, she would not mind. I know Melissa, she would not mind if you put her P.O. box here and people can have it there.
Tammy, no, they don't farm. None of them do. That's the sad part about it. It's just me and Wanda.
Yeah. All the time.
It's just us all the time. Yep, that's it.
Okay, so the other thing I want to talk about is Father's Day's coming up.
Is it?
Yes.
No, I don't never pay any attention to it. So.
About 3 weeks maybe, guys.
Okay.
Tomorrow, doTERRA is starting a sale, and it's going to be Island Mint. I'll get it right in a minute.
Well, don't ask me because I don't know nothing about this.
It's a fragrance for men, but it also can be used. They're putting a little diffuser. Well, it's like a mister in with it. And tomorrow morning, it's a new fragrance they're launching, or oil. I'm saying fragrance, but it's.
I was going to say, I would hope it's an oil.
But it's an oil, but it smells good. It's got lemon and lime. What did I say? Not cedar. What was it? Spruce. Lemon, lime, spruce, and one other one, and I forgot what.
You and Amanda will have to handle that one because I have no clue.
Yeah, and guys, check out my doTERRA link. You can order that tomorrow morning. That thing is for Father's Day. If you got stinky vehicles, you want that mist spraying out in there to cover the man scent.
Whatever.
Musky car odors.
Oh, man.
This works.
Oh.
One's going in the truck. You know that.
Whatever. Sounds like an insect spray. Well, Warren, that's what I was just sitting here thinking about. Well, it sounds more like an insect spray than
I used peppermint on my tomatoes 3 days ago. It's my hot flash peppermint. Amanda made me a little spray bottle with peppermint and water. She added like 20 drops of peppermint to just a couple of 3 ounces of water. And so that was for hot flashes. Well, I had stink bugs on my tomatoes. I went and sprayed all my tomatoes, and it hasn't kept them totally off of it. I found 1 or 2, but it kept them mainly off of it. I don't know. I may have to go spray every 2 or 3 days, but I did not find today. I think I found 1 today and 1 yesterday compared to 3 days ago. There's probably 20 on there.
Diana Williams wants to know what kind of oil can be used for eczema. Her small child has bad eczema. You can ask Amanda. I'm pretty sure Amanda could probably tell you what's good for because she would know that, I'm guessing.
She should. I don't know with eczema.
I don't know.
Hey, Laura.
There's Laura. Yeah.
Use peppermint oil and water and soap. Peppermint oil. Oh, pepper oil, like the black pepper or pink pepper. I'm not sure. We have a couple of different peppers in doTERRA. I've not ordered any of the pepper oils yet. Yeah, it comes with a car mister. That's what I was thinking. So you can stick it in the car and make it smell better. Balance.
Balance, okay. Yes.
Use Balance for eczema. I use Balance for a lot of things because I just like the smell of it.
YouTube Yoda says, have you guys ever cooked using ketchup to cook with on your vegetables?
I have used it in my my homemade ketchup in making meatloaf.
Yeah.
We're not big ketchup eaters. We don't eat a lot of ketchup anyway. And what we made, the ketchup we made, did we make any last year?
No.
I think it was the year before. We still have some because we don't eat that much ketchup. So I use it mainly for adding it to stuff like my meatloaf. I will use it in stuffed bell peppers. Same principle as meatloaf, but in stuffed bell peppers.
They say they got potato bugs this year really bad. They've used diatomaceous earth on them. Any ideas on how to control them? We just hand pick ours off whenever they start. We haven't had any, thank the Lord. I don't guess we've ever had them, have we?
Potato bugs?
Yeah.
No. We usually have squash bugs.
We got squash bugs now.
All right, now Country Homestead Preacher does have Melissa's P.O. box up, so anybody that wants to jot it down, there it is.
We Florida Homestead Preacher, we quit using so much ketchup when we found out that all the major ketchup manufacturers were putting mercury in them. We just started making our own from that point on.
Jan, with peppermint oil, I don't know if there's really a rhyme and reason. Yes, Amanda Mike can tell you if that's about the right amount, but we just added 20 drops to a small spray bottle. But if you're going to mix a big bottle up, I'm not sure how many that would take.
Datametrics says, I have some Heinz paste tomatoes. Are they good?
1 gallon, yeah.
I guess they would be okay if you got the chopped tomatoes or diced or something like that.
Yeah.
Because it says, he said Heinz paste tomatoes. So that's the paste sauce, right? The little small cans of paste like you make stuff with. I guess it would be okay. Main thing I found out about the mercury in was ketchup.
Yeah, and we try to buy, if we buy any ketchup, we look, they do have a organic ketchup.
Yeah, they do have an organic one.
If you want ketchup, you can buy an organic one. We found that a couple of years ago. Not sure.
Tammy says, Wanda, do you can a lot? Well, if you call 2,000 to 3,000 jars a year, yeah, I'd say she cans a lot.
I canned 8 jars of English peas today. We've got all kinds of potatoes. We've got to get some of them down to the cellar, the ones we're going to keep, and I've got to can all the rest. What do we end up with, a grand total around 500 pounds? Irish potatoes?
Between 5 and 6. It was, we had 17 5-gallon buckets rounded up.
Yeah.
And I weighed one 5-gallon bucket rounded up, and it was 30 pounds. So whatever 17 times 30 is, I don't know. I hadn't.
Yeah, ketchup, Anna, is one of those things that takes a lot of tomatoes.
Takes a lot of tomatoes. It takes 25 pounds of tomatoes to make 4 or 5 little pint jars of ketchup.
And you have to cook it down and
cook it for a long time.
It just takes a lot to do that. That's why we tried 2 years in a row making ketchup, and we would just save our tomatoes. I'd pick them and put them in a Ziploc bag in the freezer, and when I finally would have enough, we'd take them all out one day and make ketchup, and it's a long process.
Squash has lots of blooms but no fruit, even planted flowers. Any suggestions? Well, it depends on if they have male blooms to go along with the female blooms, because most of the times, and then we have the issue of bees. There are no bees to pollinate hardly, so Beth, it could be either no male blooms or there's no bees to pollinate.
Yeah. And they're saying, I think somebody said something about Pelosi's husband owns something, or somebody, and John Kerry's wife's family owns Heinz.
Yep.
So all our government officials are owning companies of whatever you eat.
Yeah.
That's basically. I see Beth jumped in there somewhere.
And this is a thing that's starting to happen to a lot of our seed. And I'm beginning to wonder, because Monsanto owns about 75 to 80% of all seed companies now, even though they may not be the direct owner. Yeah. They're the parent company, and they have fingers just out into all these small companies that say, oh no, we're not owned by Monsanto, but the company that owns them is owned by Monsanto. Yeah. And I'm beginning to wonder if a lot of the seeds that we're buying are not sterile seeds. Because more and more people I'm seeing, their plants are not producing. They only have male blooms on
them. How does somebody only make $170,000 a year and become a millionaire? Some of these politicians, I'm assuming.
Yeah, that's their tax returns. By the time they depreciate everything and write off all their things, they say they only made $170,000, but yet they're millionaires. If that's the case, I'm a millionaire.
We could be.
Well, I am working on my second million, though. I mean, that's not a lot.
No, we're working on the first million.
No, I'm working on the second one. I gave up on the first one.
Oh. I was going to say, what happened to the first one? You gave up on it.
I just gave up on it and started on the second one. It didn't work, so.
John Kerry married into the Hines family.
He did. Yes, he did.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, we have...
Oh, Tammy, we're not going to talk about the nutty Democrats. No. I really would like to put up a video that Ronald Reagan put up years ago about the Democratic platform. If I could find that link again, I would love to put that up. You would. It's about a farmer, and you would really get a kick out of that.
We watched that here a while back, didn't we?
Yeah, just Google Ronald Reagan, Republican. I'm trying to figure out how you would word it to Google it. Ronald Reagan, Republican running on a Democrat platform. The story about a Republican running on a Democratic platform. There'll be a bunch of them come up, but there's one particular one about a pile of cow manure, and it's really good.
Something about cow manure.
Yeah.
I forgot that part.
Yeah. No, Thomas, freezing tomatoes does not change the taste of them for canning. As a matter of fact, it makes the skins come off real easy if you dip them in warm water.
Yeah. Well, the Homestead Hippie saying happily independent. I think we're kind of sort of that too.
Yeah, I'm an independent.
We don't really.
We vote whichever way is the most godly way to vote.
Yeah, we pick and choose which one we need to vote for according to our beliefs, because our state makes you either vote Democratic or Republican in the first primary.
Yeah. You
cannot vote across both party lines until the second primary. So you have to pick and choose.
Yeah.
They said maybe that's it. We can't watch it right now, but if it's Ronald Reagan talking about the parties, then that's probably it.
Yeah, it is so funny. It's Ronald Reagan talking about a Republican running on a Democratic platform to a bunch of Democratic farmers, and he's basically standing on a pile of cow manure. It's really funny.
Yeah. I'm just reading. Okay, so I'm trying to think, do we get through things? Here lately we've been staying at the cabin a lot. We've been
working at the cabin a lot.
And we've been chilling. We spent the night over there several times. We've cooked over there. We eat over there. Even if I cook here some days, I just take it over there and we eat. We're learning how to slow down a little and chill a little. May not be a lot, but we're learning. And since we've gotten the rocking chair, Danny looked at me yesterday and he says, you know, this was a mistake. He said, we're not going to get anything done.
Yeah.
And I said, yes, we are. We're going to get things done. We're just going to learn how to sit down and chill sometimes.
Yeah, that's true. Now that we have the porch finished all the way around the cabin, that'll make it a lot nicer. We can go in the front door and come out the back door, and we're still on the porch.
I haven't even been over there. It was finished up to the point.
It was right by the fireplace.
8 or 10 boards.
We had about another 10 feet to go.
Yeah, on that side, but I mean the point wasn't quite
finished. No, the point's all finished. Everything's all finished over there.
Wanted to do an off-grid. Well, it is nice off-grid to a certain extent. It's getting summertime.
We're learning quickly that water and a way to stay cool
are going to be a
are going to be two big issues in off-grid in South Mississippi.
Yeah. So right now the wind's been blowing. It's been nice. We've not spent the night over there in a week. We did over the weekend.
Yeah.
So it's been almost.
Actually, this morning the cabin was almost cold in it this morning.
Yeah.
I went out there this morning, opened the door on it. It was like opening a refrigerator. I was like, whoa, I need to go in here instead of being outside.
At night it cools off really nice the way we've got it set up. The only problem we're really having is having to tote a lot of water right now for everything we do. And we're not living over there. If we were living there, it would be toting a lot more water.
Yeah. We're going to have to come up with a water solution. If it's nothing more than putting down a hand pump well or something, we've got to do something. Yeah.
But right now we don't need that much water, but we're having to water some plants. And when it gets hot, we have to have AC. We just can't.
We turned our AC on
Saturday
for the first time here. The temperature inside our house was 85 degrees. And we just decided it's time, you know. Yes, Ruth. Ruth, a homesteading woman.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What are your
thoughts on a stock tank pond?
What is a stock tank pond?
I think it would be okay if you have a means of being able to run it and keep the water temperature and keep it oxygenated right.
It needs to be aerated somewhere.
Yeah, it's got to stay aerated. You got to keep the water moving, or it will become stagnant. I mean, so there's some issues with it, but it will work.
Well, we're hoping to do a rain catchment, but now that's down the road because we don't have everything to do that with later. But Danny's got it planned out. Everything's still in the planning. That's why we're saying in the future. But we're going to have what across the front to catch water?
Gutters.
Gutters. The word escapes me. Gutters. And it's going to go into rain catchment barrels. So we will have some water there. And we're going to have it where we can use it inside if we need it. And we're still debating on putting our own well down over there. Danny's really wanting to do that. So.
I want to put my own well down. I put 2 of them here at the house down, so I want to put one over there down.
What do we have the AC set at?
We leave our AC set between about 75 during the day and between 75 and 80 at night.
Yeah, 77, 78, something like that. We do not cool it down past 75. So the house stays at least 75 all the time. If we tried to cool it down much more than that, it would just run continuously, and I don't think we could pay the bill.
Yeah, the electric bill would get to be too expensive here because the house is just too large to cool.
Tammy says, eat lots of ice, that cools you down. I had a bad habit of eating ice for many, many, many years just for that purpose, and I finally broke that habit about 7 or 8 years ago. And so I have tried not to pick up the eating ice habit again because it was annoying to everybody around me.
It sounds like a hog eating corn. If you're around anybody chomping on ice, it sounds like a pig eating corn.
Yeah, and I did not realize that till I quit. It's been about 7 or 8 years ago, and I just won't pick it back up.
Yeah, it was bad on your teeth, too.
And I don't use ice in anything hardly because we don't do iced tea and all that. If I go to a restaurant, which maybe once or twice a year, I will order something like that.
Yeah, it's bad for your teeth to do that.
So for the most part, I do not eat ice anymore.
We very seldom put ice in anything. We might put 2 or 3 cubes in a thing of water, but that's about it because we don't want anything really cold.
YouTube Yoda says he's in Massachusetts and his is set at 67.
Oh, we said ours is 67. It would never turn off.
Yeah. Could be the blue blood. It's the king blood.
Yeah.
Gemini says theirs is 72 during the day and 68 at night. Yeah.
It's costly, too. More and more each year. Yeah, Denise, that's what we're sitting here thinking about.
Ours goes up at night. I would rather it go down. Danny doesn't like it too cool. I like it cool. So I usually have a fan going, which helps me handle the higher temps at night. Yes, if you eat a lot of ice, it's a sign of low iron. And I had a massive iron problem before Danny and I met. And since then, I've eat a lot out of iron skillets and stuff, and eat a lot of foods high in iron. I've not had a problem.
Yeah, Homestead Hippie, we don't, if you set the problem is if you set an AC too cool and then you go out in the heat, you can't take the heat because there's no humidity in the house. And when you go out from no humidity out into like 100% humidity like what we're having, it literally takes your breath away and you can't breathe hardly.
Yeah, I see a lot of them stay at 76. Mark says he's in a trailer and he can't get it cooler than 80. I've been in a, I don't know, let me go see if somebody's out there.
Somebody may be here because Hank is my watchdog and he's going ballistic.
He is having fits.
Is he looking? He's looking out toward the front.
I don't see anybody.
A lot of times, Hank lets us know if anybody's anywhere near, and then of course we have cameras and road monitors, but we're not at anything right now. The road monitor.
The neighbors.
Is it?
Yeah, he knows when they come home. He knows when.
Oh, is it? The ones across the road. Okay, yeah.
He knows anytime somebody gets right up at our fence coming this way, he starts barking. And so they either come here or we've got 3 houses here. They're coming to something and he knows and he won't hush till we tell him to hush lots of times.
RB says they're about to start canning new potatoes that they just dug from the garden. We've got about 500 pounds right now that needs canning. So
yeah. Well, we're not canning all of them.
No, I've got to get a platform built for our new potato bin that we're wanting to show y'all. I just got to get time to get that thing built. You know, I mean, now that the porch is almost finished, maybe I can start building that platform. And plus, I'm glad to see that they're canning potatoes. I mean, I'm glad to see anybody's canning anything.
If Danny wants to dig, Deborah, he wants to dig his own well.
I've done my other well myself.
You want to...
I want to do, yeah, I used a tractor rig on the last one and drilled it with a tractor. But I want to drill one by hand with the thing that you turn in the ground. I just want to say that I've done it.
He's pretty much wanting to try that and see because he's been watching everybody on YouTube but dig a well that way.
Yeah.
Drill a well, I guess you would say. You're not digging it, you're drilling it.
Yeah.
And our water level is so high, he should hit it by 20 to 25 feet at easy.
Yeah, usually here you'll hit water. Your first thing of water is between 20, well, we hit it depends on how high you are up on the hill. You can hit it anywhere between 10 foot and 20 foot. You'll hit the water stratus and you'll stay in it down to about 75 to 100 feet. So if we can get it down around 25 or 30 feet, it'll work for a hand pump.
Yeah, YouTube Yoda says they can't have wells.
I wouldn't live where I couldn't have a well.
At sea level within a football field from the ocean. So they're close to the, that's why.
Yeah, I see what it is.
Yeah. Beth says she's canned 52 quarts of potatoes. Well, I've canned already.
Well, we got 16.
Well, I canned for the canning class, and then I've canned twice since. So
21.
21. I've canned 21, and I haven't even made a dent in ours yet. So, what about power for a well? Well, he was wanting to dig a hand pump well over there. It wasn't going to have any power.
I am looking into, I have a 4-inch well here behind the house I dug. I am looking into a solar pump to go on it so that we don't have to have any electricity to run it. So I'm actually looking into that also.
Alf said he hand drilled 40 feet with his pickup.
No joke.
Wow.
I would like to see how you done that, Grizz.
Did you video it?
Has anyone ever used sawdust and sand in a raised bed for sweet potatoes? I have. I've done it. I usually do that matrix for raising the slips to plant. I've never raised sweet potatoes in it. I raise slips that way.
Okay, I do dehydrate apples lots of times, and
problem is
Danny eats them as fast as I dehydrate. If I dehydrate 12, 15 apples, he eats 12, 15 apples within a couple of days.
Yeah.
There is no pie making to that.
Right.
He likes the dehydrated apples. So, let's see, what else? Somebody asked. Janet says, I am new to your channel and love you guys. It's good to see you relaxing a bit. Yeah, we have to chill every now and then.
Yeah, I'll probably head back over in a few minutes. I got a little bit of finishing up to do on the porch, and then the porch is finished on the flooring part. Well, other than going back and putting all the screws in, because I just spot screwed it down where I could hurry up and get it down before the boards warped on me.
And we do have apples on our trees. Our poor little tree is just loaded on one side, and the other side has just a few.
Yeah,
the freeze got one side.
The freeze got one whole side of it, plus disease got into one side of it, and it's really looking bad.
So, I guess for the most part, we've got to get busy and get some things done.
Yeah, we got to get up out of here and get busy.
Because I'm going to want to sit in my rocker after a while. Late evening is coming. It's got to where it's our rocker time. And there's going to be a new porch time, right? This time? Can we give them that? It is going to be this time, right?
I don't know yet. We're
working on it.
Porch time will probably have a new location.
We're working on it, guys.
We're working on it. We're working on it.
Let's see. We're just working on revamping everything with Deep South. I mean, the whole thing and changing up what we do.
Well, I told y'all
by being the same but changing too.
Well, I told them in one of my porch time videos that Deep South was fixing to go through some changes.
Yeah, we are.
We are.
And
we're fixing to have some big changes at Deep South Homestead.
And we like to be able to be the same, but yet be able to change some too. And that's what everything it's all about. It's learning to adapt, learning to make it through whatever's going on. And that's what we're doing. We're making the best of everything we do and enjoying it along the way. A little bit.
Y'all remember, if you need any shade cloth, contact Data Metrics there, because says he has lots and lots of it. I don't know what what percentage of coverage it is, whether it's 50%, 40%, or whatever.
Yeah.
But contact him if you are needing some.
And y'all don't forget to pray for Ben and Melissa. And those of y'all that can help them out, you check out their GoFundMe or send something to their P.O. box.
To their P.O. box, yeah, because I'm sure they could use it.
And if you want some island mint for Father's Day, check out my doTERRA link down below. And what else we got going on? Oh, the Greenstalk planter. Y'all go over, check that link, and go sign up, because somebody on the 27th will win a Greenstalk planter. And then be looking for a video on our 70,000 giveaway within the next couple of days.
Jennifer, I would start with 25% on a shade cloth and work my way up. I would start with 25. If it didn't really do what you want this year, maybe next year I would go with 40%. But we started with 50%, and 50 is a little too much for us. So we're having to cut back on ours.
Okay, so T. Frank wants to know how tall is the 5-tier. It comes up to about my shoulder. So
about 5 foot.
Yeah. So a 4-tier is going to be about 4 foot, and that's what they're giving away is the 4-tier. Mine is the 5, and I think it's right at 5. You can always, if you buy a 4-tier and you want to add on, you can buy another tier. They sell the tiers individually too, I believe. So that's always a possibility, is buying, extra tiers, I believe.
Yeah.
And you can buy the base separate if you want a base, or you don't have to have a base, or you can put the 2 different bases. One of them's a roller base, one of them's a...
It's just permanent, isn't it?
No, the roller base has the rollers on it. You can move it around. The other base has like a Lazy Susan type base on it, where you can just turn it, twist it around for sun purposes.
Yeah.
But mine has the rollers, actually, that you can roll it on the floor.
Yeah.
Is the difference in the 2 rollers. The 2 bases. All right,
All right,
guys.
guys, I got to get back busy. Go back out here in this 90-something degree temperature and see if I can finish up a little bit of work on the porch, and then we'll see what happens after that.
We're gonna chill. See you guys
See you
later.
guys later.